Today, I will be interviewing one of the greatest authors of all time, an author that has much of an influence on what we call today American literature. You may know him as Mark Twain, but his real name is Samuel Clemens. Well, let's just jump right into the interview then. Mr. Twain, do you believe that The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was your greatest work? Well, I don't know about greatest, but it certainly is the most famous. Everyone's always talking about what Huckleberry Finn has done. And what do you believe it has done for American literature? You know, when I was writing Huckleberry Finn, there wasn't really a American literature. And I think that The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn really helped get the ball rolling. I used different American dialects in the novel to help show the diversity that is America. Your style and use of American dialects were adapted and shown in the works of Ring Lardner. How does this make you feel? Well, I feel proud that my works influence the works of others, especially Mr. Lardner, since he uses the southern dialects that I used in my novels. Another similarity I see that makes me very proud is that he uses dry humor and the use of southern dialects to show the ever-prominent theme of injustice in society. Another author that claims to be influenced by you is the great Ernest Hemingway. Do you believe this is true? Well, Hemingway, of course, is seen as one of the greatest writers of all time. And I do see similarities in my work and his. I see many similarities between his very famous character Nick Adams and my character Huckleberry Finn. Both use traditional Southern accents, something an American boy would use in that time of history, and both show the theme of coming of age by experiencing tragedy and violence in society. Another author that uses this theme is William Faulkner. Do you believe that it's you that influenced him? Well, yes and no, because I believe that The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn influenced a lot of authors, especially William Faulkner. I believe that it is this novel that helps show the theme of coming of age through seeing violence in society and pain. So yes, essentially it was me that had the influence, but I like to credit good old Huckleberry Finn. So, as we've seen, it's widely accepted that you have influenced the work of many early American authors. But do you believe you have influenced American literature as a whole? Well, I just got tired of American literature having to constantly look towards the British for approval. And when my novels began to surface, especially Huckleberry Finn, people began to label them as American literature. So I just wrote about what I knew, growing up in America, traveling around America, I just wrote about what I knew, and I was able to create works that reflected our great country. And then it was branded as American literature. So yes, I did have an influence on American literature, and I do believe that me, among many authors, fathered American literature. So, one last question. Out of all of your works, which is your favorite? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should read them all and tell me. Well, there you have it, folks. An interview with the father of American literature, Mark Twain. Thank you for listening.